Today, the top drivers in Cyber Thunder look to see if they can roar to the front. Today, we're happy to have you with us for today's coverage of the Rush Championship Series presented by AI Chief. As tonight, we're at Pocono Raceway for the Cathy's Courage 225 here on Precision. We're happy to have you with us here for tonight's coverage. I'm Justin Prince here with you for this evening's coverage from the Tricky Triangle. I'll be using cameras tonight brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams for this evening's festivities as we get ready to find out who's the best at Pocono. It's time to count down to green and get ourselves all set to go for this evening and find out how drivers will go on their path to the battle for the championship. Because after tonight, just one race decides amongst your round of 10, including tonight, who goes to the championship at Richmond Raceway. It's a big opportunity for drivers to earn points this evening. There's not a lot of room for error if you want to be a part of those who will battle for the title. How are things looking for your drivers for the championship? Remember, there's only so many spots available. There's 6 of them available after tonight. Cody Gibson has the advantage over Dustin Payne and Craig Mitchell entering tonight. Then everyone else is even at 7,000. That includes drivers like Semple, Caldwell, Thompson, DiMaggio, Bowman, Stuyvesant, and Richter, who are the ones who got in after a topsy-turvy end to the last bracket. You see 3 different drivers were tied for some of the final spots to get in the show in the first place entering this week. Now keep in mind, Pocono Raceway, 2.5 miles on the distance here at this facility. It's different in every turn. It's been around since the 1960s. This facility, after all, has seen some intriguingness from start to finish. In particular, it used to have a short track at one point on the front straightaway and features various different assets around this facility. But as we get ready for tonight's coverage, I'd like to remind you that tonight is brought to you by AI Chief. Box now. Fuel, tires, and trash talk included. AI Chief Racing is your virtual crew chief, making pit calls, strategy plans, and roast you all the way to the checkered flag. Visit AIChiefRacing.com to learn more. Currently in the final moments of the qualifying section. Continuing to circulate their way through here for this one. Holmes will start in the 12th position. 13th will go the way of Rick Thompson, with Chris Rose down in 14th. Throw it back to 15th. Tom Richter is in that position, with Andrew Popejoy in 16th spot. 17th is the way of Lee Campbell. Logan Spencer will start in 18th tonight. Throw it back an extra row. David Gainford starts 19th. Carter Lawson is in 20th. Andrew Caldwell starts 21st. Stephen Music will start in 22nd, a part of your running grid. Back an extra row. Mike Stuyvesant and Amanda Sherman are amongst those in the top 24 this evening. You also have Andy Cork and Justin Vason, a part of your grid. A lot of other field competitors in the action tonight. That order will include Jackie Brennan. Craig Mayer is down in 28. Running your top 30, Dakota Wilkins and Corey Sherman rounds out your top 30. And then Leroy Copland, Brian Dorsey, 32nd. Already working away on the racetrack, James Kendrick, Casey Tomlinson amongst those in the order. Here this evening. As you can see, the field getting itself in position and ready to go as we prepare for this evening. Again, it's going to be an interesting night from start to finish. Apologies there for the quick technical difficulty again. Corey working on the racing action for those just jumping along here. As right now, you see how the pressure's building for Mitchell. Just trying to work his way on the inside line early on in this run. 55 so far, been able to withstand the pressure, but some of the drivers further back are in the midst of some good battling. See some of the drivers like Payne. Oh, contact! A bit of a bubble. Payne holds onto it. Semple drives by, and a little bit of chaos in the group as they all stay firm. That could have got very, very rough for a quick moment, but they're able to hold on to it there despite that situation. See if we can get a chance to look at a So as this all goes on here, it's going to get interesting to see what happens for a lot of these cars. Let's take a listen in. A couple of these competitors on the onboard. You can see the gap trying to close up for Bowman. Right now, as things go about, let's take a look at one of the playoff drivers here. You can see Frank DiMaggio trying to work his way around some of the drivers here, running up towards the front. See him from the fin, trying to find a way to the inside of Dufton for position. DiMaggio actually shifting here, interesting enough. 24 trying something different. Not able to get the run on that battle, but still solid for the time being here. Let's take a look at some of the gaps from up above. As you can see, just where the run comes for DiMaggio. Still can't close, but that outside line, we know you have the chance to lose a lot of ground here if you don't do this right. Watch this from here. You see how Dufton still staying to the fender. The gap is already up to 6 car lengths between these two spots, and DiMaggio, as a result, now finally able to clear in the 24 machine. Already about 8 laps into the action so far here tonight as we continue on with this one. Some of the other battles going on. Van Vliet is in the midst of a battle right now. You can see Anderson has actually slid down a little bit into their clutches. -5 so far for that 43 machine here tonight, looking to try and recover the positions. It's been an interesting night for him with the short run. His pace, 56.2s to begin things off, half a second up the tempo. few drivers did say before tonight they reported the setup was very tight for the session here this evening. So these competitors are going to have to battle their machines from start to finish. You can see as well Rick Thompson, the next up, to try to attack Dufton. Johnson, for his sake, one of the drivers that has been able to pick up 4 spots. He's been a big mover. Same for the 46 up the road, who's attacking Van Vliet. This is Caldwell. So far, one of those using the bottom of the track to make the passes, not really push the tires all too much here. For the ride to get some of the work done in his case. See Tom Richter. It's an emotional night for him. He's the race sponsor, and of course we talked about the family situation with him, especially the race name Kathy's Courage for this evening. Thoughts are with the Richter family entering this evening in what is a difficult time, potentially for some. Right now, Richter has to focus on trying to drive forward for the time being, though, because right now he is amongst those trying to battle it out to get towards the point stage points. That's going to be the most important thing for him and everybody else here. You can see this right now. He's stuck alongside that 60 machine at Campbell, trying to find a way to get a run. Losing a bit of ground, wasn't able to get something to work there in that set. But for now, he'll just work himself around. Mind you, race lead is getting interesting because look at the way the line's working for Cody Gibson. Right now trying to use a little bit of a higher lane, search for some different air. Greg Mitchell still breaking up that draft. And keep in mind, if there's a mistake for Gibson, Edward Jurgen is right there for the taking. Remember, the stage ends on lap 18. They're running out of time. And Gibson with the outside, able to get alongside Mitchell, making the pass attempt. Will he clear? It's still side by side. Mitchell still trying to keep the run. Jurgen looking to take advantage as well as they all work their way to the corner. Good battle amongst your lead lappers up at the point. Right now, we're coming up now onto lap 13. Jurgen with contact to the wall. They all work themselves forward. Jurgen jumping up to second. Look at him though, he missed the corner. Way up the track. Mitchell still trying to get a run to the inside. Jurgen with the battle going on alongside, still focusing on what's through the windshield. Getting to that one. Take a look from Gibson. Watch the line. Looks like he's not going to the bottom. He's trying to use a higher line here. Trying to find a way to slowly arc it down to the apex, then get the car to exit. Oh, and Mitchell drove into the wall for a moment. Down the middle of the straightaway. An interesting one there. Mind you, these drivers are starting to fall off almost 2 seconds already with the way the right fronts are burning up here tonight. So the right front tire is really burning itself up here. Mitchell wants the spot back, but it's not going to push the issue. And keep in mind in all of this, remember drivers like Dustin Payne, he's one of the drivers that's starting to chip this gap away. If they fight again, he's in a prime position to take this back away. Right now, Jurgen the highest up of those, and the non-playoff driver second, Anderson. For those curious what's going on, there's also been not just this battle with Mitchell trying to take over second, hold on a second, but others trying to make passes like Mike Stuyvesant. He's been down the order here this evening. 55 able to zip his way ahead. Time to focus up. Next up on the road. Put the fin down. It's time to fly to get up the road. Jurgen not going to take a poke this time. As things steady out a little bit, let's take the time to think about Stuyvesant's case here. Because for Mike Stuyvesant, that 20 machine is one of those that we've seen have an interesting day so far. Right now for him, he's amongst those in the battle box. That's the race leader battle box for the time being, for those curious on the intervals. But this 20 machine, one of those looking to find a way to make up a little bit of ground. He's in the 57-second bracket. Look at Carter Lawson down the racetrack. A little bit of a moment there. Lawson able to hold on to it. That drops him down to 21st. The air driver to think about for some of the battles up the road. Look at this. The 5 is alongside the 46. Anderson had a disastrous last round. He's looking to make up for it here. With how things went last time by, anything would show an improvement here. Let's take a look at some of the most positions gained so far here tonight. The 5 is not on that list. You know who is? The 3 is on the move. As this goes on with Caldwell, your third biggest mover, potentially will knock him down to 5th just like that. Corey Sherman just behind this has an opportunity here. You can see him trying to hold off Stuyvesant and close up to those in front. We're coming up to 1 to go. Up in the stage, we're actually down to 2 to go, should say. It's getting interesting for some of those on the cutoff. Anderson trying to hold on for the time being. Can he try and take away potential stage points for the 34? Not able to do anything quite yet there as we see some of the others like Campbell are in this choo-choo train and so forth. Looking like things are steady there as we check in with the race leaders. Mitchell is there. Greg Mitchell looking for an opportunity to find his way to the point. 1 to go in stage 1. One final time around in the opening stage. .55 trying to go to the inside. Looking for the send. Gonna make that work as he goes back in line. If he wants to take the top spot in the stage, he's going to have to be aggressive here. Is Mitchell gonna do that? Doesn't look like he's close enough to do so. One final chance up to turn 3. Looks like Cody Gibson's got it. Cody Gibson coming up to the final stretch. Look for the flag stand. Green-white checker flag. Cody Gibson wins stage 1. Mitchell up in second. Jurgen, Payne, Bowman, DiMaggio, Semple, Thompson, and Richter, your top 10. And so, it's the 1 machine who gets himself the job done in the stage. And as a result, able to come up with some big, hefty points here. On that note, we'll take a step aside in a moment. We come back. More coverage. You're watching this evening's action. Once again, we're happy to have you with us here on Precision Entertainment for this evening's coverage. Once again, for the Cathy's Courage 225 at Pocono.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now driver, While the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Thank you very much, and we are just about set for pit stops here. As you can see from the pit drone, they are all working their way to the pit lane right now as they work themselves in for expected 4 tires in service. Cody Gibson leads them all down to the pit lane. Tire wear is not the biggest factor around a facility like this, so it might get interesting on if anybody actually takes service here. Again, for those just tuning in, I'm Justin Prince. Happy to have you with us here for today, for this evening, as we continue on with the coverage. And what has been a bit of a busy night for this entire field from start to finish. Race out pit road about to take place here as they all get themselves ready to go. As race out pit road, Greg Mitchell just won that, as they all work themselves through up at the pit road. Should say Cody Gibson did, pardon me. So Cody Gibson, regardless though, coming up on top in the stage, getting a chance to control things now under this caution period. So an opportunity here potentially to see if we can speak with your stage winner here, since this is a bigger track. Work itself around Cody Gibson amongst those working with Casey Tomlinson here tonight in this one. Let's see. I believe we have Cody Gibson here. Cody Gibson, do you have a copy?
I do. How y'all doing?
Doing good. How do you like Pocono so far?
Man, if I can figure out the tunnel turn, I think I'll be set.
How so? What's the big thing about the tunnel turn you picked up?
I don't know. I can't figure the entry out. I'm rather checking up too early or not driving deep enough. I don't know, but I feel good in 1 and 3.
So with that being said, what's the approach for stage 2 with it going to lap 41? How does it look on fuel in particular?
We should be pretty good. We can go like I think 23 laps, 24 laps on a tank, so it'll be close, but we should be able to make it. Save a little under caution.
All right, we'll let you get back to your team. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Cody Gibson coming away with the stage 1 victory and getting ready for stage 2. As we can see here, everybody working their way through the corners to set things up for the upcoming stage. Some of the drivers up note to keep an eye on. This includes Edward Jurgen. He dropped down to 5th in the order. Rick Thompson's up here as well. One of the other non-postseason competitors here in the order as we take a look at your pylon after that sequence. Let's see. You can see just where things are sorted here, with Mitchell, Gibson, Payne, Bowman, Thompson, Jurgen, Van Vliet, Semple, Richter, DiMaggio. All part of your top 10 for the upcoming green flag. An interesting night so far. Hopefully you've been enjoying this evening's coverage here on Precision Entertainment. Again, third to last race of the season, and one has definitely been an interesting night for our field. Of note for some of the drivers looking to shine brightly in this stage, keep an eye on Mayer and Sherman, non-playoff drivers that have up 13 and 10 respectively. Some of the drivers like Caldwell and Stuyvesant looking to recover. Meanwhile, Andrew Popejoy off screen ended his race 13 laps in, was the only driver to pull off the circuit. So obviously having a situation for his case, but everyone else getting set to go for the start sequence. Here we go. Green, green, green. We're underway once again for stage number 2. Working our way down the back straightaway, a couple drivers the back of the group looking like they're staggering out. Brad Holmes has had an issue. Holmes amongst those falling down the pylon, believe me, have had a technical blip. Everybody else making the way through, no issue. Dumpton amongst those, trying to battle up towards the front. See just how much you have to work that wheel in the traffic. He's in a heavy cluster right now just outside that top 10. Up front, looks like this though, with Gibson building a buffer. Dustin Payne is up in the top 3. Looking at your battle box as we go about here. Rick Thompson, you can technically throw in that as well, so add our name to that column if you will. One of the drivers looking really good on this stage. Look back to Semple. Right now, Semple looking impressive. You see this from the front of his car. See the gap right now between him and the next car, 1 second. At the moment, as some of the drivers up there are going down for different lines. Dustin Payne looking for second. There he goes, able to pick up the second position. The 81 jumps up a spot. Of note, we mentioned Popejoy had a situation, fell 13 laps down. He's back in it. His car looks clean, so he looks to survive. The air driver that had issues off the start, Leroy Koblenz, you can see he's also avoided damage. Also losing the pack was Lee Campbell. He did pick up damage and has left the race car for what happened on the opening lap of this stage. Meanwhile, as the leader runs away and the pack starts to splinter up, good time to think about talking about Richter. Remember we talked about needing to get top 10 opportunities for points? He's there right now. See him a little bit lower than some of the others, but just biding his time, biding his business. Right now, for his case, Richter is 8-9 seconds behind the leader as they've slowed down for a caution flag. Caution is out. Caution on the speedway. We'll see if we can pick up what happened here from this situation as it's put us under the caution with them catching up. So Lee Campbell did pick up a meatball flag and came down pit road. Let's see what we can pick up here, if this is it. Oh boy, bit of contact there. Did it get worse? Yes, indeed, and that would indeed explain why we'd be slowed down. This would be explain why we're under a caution flag here all of a sudden. Apologies there. See this again. And hard contact takes him to the wall. So as you can see, had to tow from that situation And as a result, puts us under the caution period as here the field has slowed down. Cody Gibson amongst those staying out, but we do have a pit stop. Corey Sherman peeled on down for service. See him trying to take the pit stop as quick as he can here. A couple others joining on in as well to take some stops. So as they all do this again, good time maybe catch up with one of the drivers up towards the front here. See what Dustin Payne has to say. Dustin Payne, do you have a copy?
I got you.
Dustin, I know it's been a busy night for you so far, but you're up to second, up 8. How do you feel about your car?
Pretty good. We'll just try to keep the right front on it and see what we can do with Greg and Cody here and see if we can't get another win.
So you mentioned you feel confident on the speed. One of the things is, how would you describe the tightness level of the car in the machine tonight?
It's about a 12 out of 10. Doesn't help we're running the wrong setup here. And yeah, the nose is in the ground, it is hard to turn, and it burns the right front off. So yeah, it's not fun to drive.
So with that being said here, as we get ready for the restart in this situation, what's the plan for the rest of the stage? We're rolling in lap 27. We're talking about coming upwards of 14-ish laps to go.
Try to get to the lead, keep the lead, keep fresh tires on it, and crank the brake bites, those will go. See what we got.
Once you get to the restart.
Yep, thank you.
Believe channel 10?
Yes.
Dustin Payne back to his team. I'd like to thank him for the time to speak with us quickly there. So, again, Carwin getting ourselves ready for the restart. Cody Gibson, Dustin Payne, Rick Thompson, Greg Mitchell, Gary Bowman, Matthew Semple, Frank DiMaggio, Edward Jurgen, Tom Richter, Vilt Van Vliet are inside your top 10 for the upcoming restart. So all this, we'll see Gibson choosing the top. Keeping an eye in particular possibly on this machine here for the restart. This is Caldwell. Caldwell currently setting himself up for an interesting battle here in the next moment. You can see all of the drivers are close, obviously, but needs to pick up a few tenths, obviously, to get to the race leader. We know he's usually been a contender for top fives at tracks like this, and usually one of those looking to just try and see if he can get consistency to get a championship. Field, though, meanwhile, getting itself for the restart. Again, early on in the race, 62 to go in it. Restart lap 29. We'll have about 12, 13 laps in the stage when we get that going. Here we go, pace car dropping off. We're all set to go. Barney has the flag in hand. We're backing away. DiMaggio amongst those trying to move around there. You can see him dancing a little bit in the heart of the pack. 24 amongst those looking like they've cleared on by. We also have some good battles between Dufton and Anderson. 3 wide in the back of the field. How's that going to work out? You can see the 5 on the inside. Stuyvesant well outside. Stuyvesant loses a few spots from it. Drops himself back. They're able to regroup. Meanwhile, up the road, you can see DiMaggio, for his sake, just trying to get alongside the 8. You can see right now, Bowman amongst those riding the inside. Here's a look at DiMaggio, still looking to clear from his battle. Semple staying to the outside. Can DiMaggio clear? No, not quite. 16's got the run back. You see the 24 able to jump up to the front. And just like that, DiMaggio is in the 6th position. Next up is Bowman. Caldwell amongst those also in the battle box. Looking alongside Jurgen. Look from up top. It's one of the close battles on the racetrack. Looks like we've had a lot of drivers squabbling at the back also. Drivers like Logan Spencer just popping around the pylon. I believe it's technical issues, yes. So he's clean. Rick Thompson, new personal best. Rick Thompson, for his sake, is actually up with the race leaders. He's on the back bumper at Gibson and looking for a place to go. Inside he goes. Right now, Thompson seems to have a bit of a rocket here for Speed Mafia. Gibson still keeping the fight up. Coming up to 10 laps to go on the stage. Mitchell now joins on in. Some good fighting, calms down a bit. Bowman and DiMaggio looking to fight as well. You look up top of this battle. This is just outside the top 5. They've all kept themselves pretty complex here. You see all this as well. That 55 still wants to make up ground. Dustin Payne's taking the race lead in the midst of the chaos. Dustin Payne is now the race leader. Battle is on behind. So some good battling going all across the field. There are battles after battles after battles after battles. See if we can take a look at what happened here. This would be this one that set up the pass for the race lead moments ago. Just see right there, Payne quite simply, as we're looking at the air battle, built up the run to the inside, got an opportunity, and with that opportunity, he took it. Payne, meanwhile, is pulled away. Still have about 8, coming to 7 to go. Rick Thompson amongst those trying to work himself ahead. Remember, one of those that is in the conversation, you can see right here. They have to go so low down that racetrack to follow the draft of that leader. Good battle back here. Remember, Brad Holmes had a bit of a technical blip at one point. 0-0. Looking solid here. Right now, amongst those in 12th, who is not one of those to battle for the championship here into the round of 10, but was in the opening rounds at least. Keep in mind, if you think about the battle pack differences, take a look ahead to Dumpton. You see how much the gap has built up. That is already a gap of 2.2 seconds between these machines that is built up on the racetrack. Good battle between Jurgen Semple, 3 wide. That is Caldwell amongst those going after it. Had to back out of it. Richter drives his way into the fight. Look at Richter try and slice and dice. Lap 35. Great battling going on. This is all for about the 9th position. See how this is closed up between some of these drivers. Richter's in the conversation. Caldwell, then you throw it back. You bump it a couple positions. You have Semple. You have Jurgen also in the conversation. Caldwell looking for his run. Great shuffles, great battles, but all this as well. Race lead, look at this, second spot again. Again, Mitchell snaking his way down the straightaway, and that's common here. Oh, we've had some trouble here. 5 is falling down the pylon again. Stay green though. Looked like may have had a technical blip. See it right here. Anderson is okay. He's running 13th. Back on topic, race leaders look like this again. DiMaggio's also in the mix. Middle car is Thompson. Coming to lap 37. So all this as well, majority of your drivers in the top 10 are postseason competitors at a time when they need points. One of those that might be thinking, what can I do next, is Mike Stuyvesant. This 20 machine running down the order. See him just looking for something, anything he can do to pick up spots here. Take a look from the visor cam. Of course, the mirror is turned off for obvious reasons. You don't want to share the mirror secrets. No, in all seriousness, it's a different story. But that being said, this 20 machine, one of those on the fall off here tonight that's gone 2/10 off the pace to the leaders. He's gotten better on the average fall off distance to the leader over the run. So he's gotten better as the night's gone on with this tight machine. DiMaggio, meanwhile, you see him here. Up 3, been a front runner all night. See his gap, still a couple seconds. Couple tenths, should say. Looks like he's going to try and go for the run. Actually got to the inside of Cody Gibson down the straightaway. Stuyvesant amongst those that also took a peek. You also have the battle going on with Richter. But as you can see up front, Frank looking for second, door to door. Rick Thompson looking to join in. See the 76, able to wrap the top. There it goes, Thompson back to third. 3 to go on the stage this upcoming time by. Let's check in on that air battle. Well, Bowman's now ran away from it, but Richter has been able to get himself in a good spot. Oh, in trouble! It's Jurgen! Jurgen amongst those in the wall. Caution flag is out. Heavy contact. This, believe, will be the stage past the designation point. So this is a caution on the racetrack. Let's take a look at it. A little bit closer up here. And you can see Jurgen, the bottom frame, got into the side of that 46, and around it goes. Try on board. See. Get the best of angle this will. And they get connected. And bye-bye. So heavy contact for the both of them. And then you have to wonder, now this might be telling for the 46. Both of them glued. Caldwell, all he can do is ride along as the 92 goes to the bottom. So with that being said, you see that 46 now wants those with damage, and this, again, should be the stage. So Dustin Payne, as a result, up at the head of the field. So let's bring that tower back. You see Ping, Gibson, Thompson, DiMaggio, Mitchell, Bowman, Richter, Semple, Holmes, and Anderson are all on the racetrack inside your top 10. Hold on, what's going on with the 5? Not sure why he's danced around there, but I believe there was a technical blip. And with this being the end of the stage early, pit stop time. So they'll all come down the lane to take some service. You can see the pit stop times all popping up on your pylon here. See if we can bring in the total notifications to see how things look here. And as everything breaks, you can see all the drivers taking the service. Race off pit road. And you can see the one, Gibson, won the race off of it. Take a break. Come back. More coverage. You're watching Precision.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Thank you very much, and continuing on with the action here tonight, we hope you're enjoying today's festivities here on Precision. Again, I'm Justin Prince here at the broadcast booth here tonight as Cody Gibson is up at the front of the field. So we currently get ourselves set for the restart. We talked to Payne earlier on. We'll see what he has to say if he gets up to the very, very tippy end here tonight. As you can see, Gibson versus Payne on the front row, followed by DiMaggio and Thompson, Mitchell, followed by Bowman, Richter, Semple, Holmes, Anderson amongst those up at the front as things bounce around. Should say Nathan Dufton amongst the top 10. Getting all set for what's going to be an interesting restart here. Again, we run to lap 90 from here. So we're all set to go for the restart this time through. Let's see where things stand once we get back going here again. It's Been an interesting night from start to finish. So far, leaders in the race, Cody Gibson, Greg Mitchell, Dustin Payne, 20, 11, and 10 respectively. All set to fly. So the field's in hand, and we have a few peeling down pit road here. Going to go one more time. It looks like they're going to delay the restart. So they are going to go one more time around for the pace car. So this will see everyone bunch back up again. Again, some of the drivers, I think, at the back of the group. Seeing a few drivers at least think about pit stops, believe. Yes. So believe a couple did take some pit stop service there and are currently taking service, like Carter Lawson and a few others taking advantage of this extra stop chance as a result here. That being said here, everybody else will get themselves into the choo-choo train here for tonight's coverage. Again, happy to have you with us as we reach 1 hour into the racing action. I'd like to remind everyone that tonight's action is brought to you in part by AI Chief. Box now. Fuel, tires, and trash talk included. AI Chief Racing includes your virtual crew chief, making pit calls, strategy plans, and roast you all the way to the checker flag. Visit AI Chief Racing to learn more about AI Chief. Just about ready to go. Let's try this again to that sequence. All the carts seem to be ready to fly for the upcoming restart. Once again from Pocono Raceway, start lap 44. Should need a one pit stop from here. On the gas. Green, green, green. We're back on our way. Good start for the field. As you can see, Cody Gibson trying to battle with Payne. Good battle down the back straightaway as it's Payne who jumps up in front. Good start for him. Cody Gibson looks to try and do something behind. You can see he's lost a lot of time with that tunnel turn though. And look at this. It's clutch and coast time. He's got to be concerned of fuel, and that's because the caution is out. Casey Tomlinson, who went around, it looks like, a part of the caution, back under yellow. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened right here. And look out. Back of the field. It's enough to draw the caution, apparently. And it puts us right back under yellow. Here's one more time. From the roll bar. Just got too low on the bumps. Took him for a roller coaster. So as a result of that one, you can see Dustin Payne is looking to work his way up at the front. Take a look at your pylon as we'll fix that little blip there. You can see we're about halfway this time by the caution period now, so it's a good opportunity to maybe catch up one of the drivers here. See if anybody comes down pit road for any service. Very likely may not. It's a good chance to catch up with one of your top drivers all season. Let's take an opportunity here. Catch up with Greg Mitchell. Greg Mitchell, this is Justin Prince in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
First things first, you're up at the front. You've been battling up at the front. How do you feel about this racetrack tonight?
Feel good. I feel like it's kind of a death trap on the bottom, unfortunately. If they can get lined up on the outside, it's you're kind of just a sit and duck. So you gotta, I don't know, the bottom's faster, but you gotta protect the high side at the same time. So it's kind of tricky, and we're all just shuffling around. So it's actually really fun.
So with that being said here, how do you try and take control of a race like this? Because no, you've had 3-4 different drivers here in this conversation. No one's been able to really establish dominance up at the front.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I need some green laps. I feel like I'm going to be good on the long run. Just need to get a good green run in, and Cody's pretty good on the long run too. Not sure about anybody else because I know they were in traffic that first run. So yeah, I would just like a green run and then let this play out. I think that's my best bet.
So you talked about the strategy for the rest of the stage here. Anything else you're keeping an eye on for this round of 10?
Other than fuel, we're pretty tight, but these caution laps are helping. So we were right on the barrier, so we're probably good by a couple laps now. We still got to manage it just a little bit probably, but other than that, I think we're going full steam ahead.
Let you get back to your team.
All right, thank you.
Greg Mitchell taking the time to speak with us right there. Again, one of the drivers up towards the front here, as currently field works its way behind the pace car. Looks like we're going to double up this time. And the longest line penalty of this caution flag, Carter Lawson amongst those who picked up an EOL. Remember, some drivers have to be careful about the penalties tonight. Remember, in this league, if you cause a one and done for a cause of caution, you could potentially be parked. There are a few like the 3, the 11, the 7, the 05, the 15, and the 5, and the number counts at least, that you're going to have to keep an eye on and make sure you do not have any incidents. No boo-boos. That being said here, this battle up at the front between these two cars has been really good so far. As they all go about, it's going to get interesting from here where some of the drivers go. So with that in mind, as we prepare tonight, remember, next time out it's going to be 1.5 miles, so there's an opportunity for some of those that are good on the speedways to pick up some very valuable points in this battle for the championship, to say the very least. If you want to get the championship done, you have to be good at short tracks, obviously, but you can also get away with some, and I mean some, chances in terms of potential opportunities. You have to be careful, though. Let's get ready for the start sequence. Payne versus Gibson up at the front again. Pace car is off. Green, green, green. We're back to racing. And it's a good start for Payne. He looks to try and set away. Here's a look for the gearbox. Good tight battle up at the front to begin as they make their way to the corner. A few good battles behind them, still shaping up. Bowman amongst those. Look at Richter. He's trying to go places aggressively. See, he's got drivers in front of him, trying to go side by side, offset 3 wide. That's simple. Richter loses his ground. We'll try and figure out a way to go forward after that one. Nathan Dufton is the one who just made the pass on him. They'll all make their way up to the front straightaway. 42 laps to go. Bit of bobbles again behind them. And lead amongst those in the side-by-side. That's Brian Dorsey. Haven't touched upon Dorsey too much tonight. So far, he's been able to keep himself out of trouble, up about 18 positions. Let's check in on that biggest mover board. Why don't we? He's the biggest on it, after all, so far. So a great job by that America machine, looking to try and go forward. Race leaders continuing to keep pretty tight. Mitchell staying on the bumper. Haven't touched upon the weather here tonight. It's still about 97 on the track temp. It's a little hard to believe earlier, but it's pretty windy. That wind to the west is a bit of a factor here because it's going to impact your turning ability and how you're able to stay gripped up in the corners. Some of these drivers definitely have had a challenge here tonight. Here is DiMaggio going inside. He'll try and cut his way on the inside. Let's see, he's just trying to find a way to make this pass work. Here's a look for him on the inside. Trying to get around side Thompson. No dice. Meanwhile, the 5, Anderson. Munsto's going after it. That was a close call with the 8. Nearly made contact with them. Able to stay forward. Bowman trying to handle the battle as a result with Dufton. Stuyvesant, talked about him getting better and better as the run goes on. Oh boy, the 43! Eric Anderson with a bit of a moment. He held on to it though, and able to keep it going. He has that 09 machine of music, now taking the chance to attack him as a result. Back to Stuyvesant's conversation point though. One of those that actually missed a race last round, but because so many drivers on the cut line had issues, he still made it. Amongst those with the tiebreakers. So the 20 survived the gauntlet. Unofficial here tonight. 9th place entering tonight. Now, looking for something, anything he can do here to maybe have a chance. Look at the 5 though on the outside. He's door to door with Dufton. No contact there. Richter takes advantage. See that 5 at least trying to side draft Richter. It's not really working the best right now. And Dorsey says thanks for the free real estate. Meanwhile, check in on the race leaders here. Oh, they're still a pretty big gaggle. They're still pretty active. They peeled away 2 seconds, but hey, this group has stayed relatively competitive up for this race lead here tonight. Take a look at this battle interval, for example. You see everyone's covered by under 0.2 of a second. All drivers in your playoffs. And so they'll all try and figure out what they can do next. See if who can leapfrog, because all this is well. Best battles are back outside the top 10 still. Anderson still trying to find a way to move ahead. Lap 53, we're about 12 laps to the run. Fuel mileage, remember, in these machines, going to be a talking point with the fuel limitations. So we'll see who is the first to come in. There is the one that had the top off with the pit stop, though. Carter Lawson is one of those that is in an interesting spot here. See him deep in the order. See him, he's right behind Game 4. Back in the 20s. We just had 2 people pit. All of a sudden, Jackie Brennan amongst those who just had to peel down. So obviously something happened with him and Eric Anderson. They've pulled down both Jackie and Eric to the pit lane. And let's see if we can cue up what happened. This would be where Eric would be driving slowly. They're right at the back. Obviously something happening between the two of them. See if we can go back a little bit further. Yeah, they're up at the wall. That's what's happened. See right there, contact, 43 got loose into the 65, and that is why As right now, that 81 stays in the mix to see if he can pick up runs. Remember, we talked about him being a little bit surprised being one of the top points getters coming out of the round, along with Gibson. He was 2 points off the one machine. Once things were tabulated, 5 wins for Gibson, 2 for Payne on the season, 6 for Mitchell, win apiece for Caldwell and Semple. Maggio and Bowman also had wins throughout this campaign. Also in the postseason. Checking on Brad Holmes. He is right now leading the conga line. He's got some help from behind. Fellow Canadians, if you will. Semple and Holmes amongst those who work together in the same camp. You see all of them choo-choo train behind. Seems to be trapped together. They're running 3/10 off the lead pack, though. That is a bit of a problem spot, to say the least. You do not want to be one of those drivers that loses so much time long term. See how much he's trying to hold on to the machine. At 0-0. Try and see just how long this battle will last in his sake. Mike Stuyvesant is up there in 9th also in this mix, by the way. Good battle for him to be a part of. Now let's see. It's a good measure here. Compare these machines with the leader. Following along with Stuyvesant. Let's see. That did not work the way it's intended. Let's try this again. This works the way it's intended. You see the difference? 4 seconds. Stuyvesant needs to pick up a lot of ground if he wants to get up to that race leader. But most importantly here, in terms of all this, look at the last lap difference if we can here. Because as we'll try and see where that populates forward. Verbally speaking, this is where it gets a little bit better for Stuyvesant. He shows that speed a bit, helps him out in the case of this battle, and goes from there. Mitchell, one of those battling now up with Frank. Where's Frank going? He's going well over the inside. That's what he's doing. Trying to bring some draft in it after pass attempt, and it didn't really work out there, so he has to regroup. Using the shifter still. Here's one of the things that used to be a major thing in a lot of fixed races. If you're seeing somebody shift and downshift in the corner, something along those lines, it's because they are tight, and they are very tight. It's the only way to get rotation. Mitchell lets the 24 go. Now Mitchell looks to try and find a way to get a run next. Good battle amongst them. Eric Anderson, Jackie Brennan both stayed down pit road, by the way, as things continue to stand here in this one. As this is all going on, by the way, one of those, remember, who has to go on the recovery drive. It's in a rough one if you're a Caldwell fan here tonight. That 46 machine already had to pick up more than a minute plus of damage repair. It's still not fixed. 24th. What's that mean for his speed? He's still 8/10 off the leader. He is already more than 2 seconds off of his personal time ban. That is not good, to say the very least, especially when you think about this interval. It's 12 seconds to get up to the leader. Not going to potentially get lapped at this rate, but it will be a concern if there's no caution. Things stay stable up with the leaders on the one more check-in. Things do not explode here. It's almost like watching something you're trying to cook on a stove, right? You look to step away. If you step away from it, something usually pops. Here's a look at the 5. He tried to pop, for example, to the inside. He's fine. Okay, time to check back at the leaders, make sure things didn't overheat or overflow, as they didn't overflow. Gotta love how things go. Sometimes these races get interesting like that. You know what's also interesting? There are a couple drivers that are going to be stretching fuel runs here we haven't touched upon. How about Chris Rhodes? Taking a look at him specifically right now. Right now, at the moment, Chris Rhodes, 18th, looking steady, but obviously, like a lot more than that from here on out. But he did top off. Same for Dakota Wilkins. Those two are going to see if they can get a yellow. Those drivers can go and do 5 lap longer difference compared to some of their fellow classmates and race mates, if you will. On top of course, Carter Lawson we talked about in his situation. So a few drivers hoping maybe they can get a caution mid-cycle. Hopefully try and pin a couple people lap down, force to take waves, take track position, if you will. Check back in on this battle pack. Still good fight. Holmes, of course, part of those that's doing well. Semple's got a 3-second gap to his next group, but of course, big thing in the motorsports world here for Ontario short track racing we haven't touched upon yet over the storylines. Of course, one of the flagmen, unfortunately, at one of the facilities here in Ontario actually passed away after a significant crash where a driver hit the flag stand. All thoughts of those, of course, in the Ontario motorsports community, of course. When it comes to racing, you never know what can happen. And in the case of what happened in recent weeks, in recent days actually, over at Flamborough, it was stunning with Doug McLean, to say the least. It's unfortunate what had happened. And of course, it's close when you are someone like Brad Holmes, when you work at a racing facility in the long term. Up front, battles are on. Looking to duke it out again. You see that 24 still trying something. You can see him digging. Nobody to the inside. That's not the concern. You know what the concern is? Right there. You look everywhere, and eventually you find a car to your own side still. And you're not able to clear even with the braking marks. Thompson having a good fight up at the front here in the 76. You have to think Rick, who's been a driver who's been in a championship. Oh, DiMaggio in the grass, grazing off of him. Cut down low through 3, held on to it in the 24. Still keeps it going, 23 laps. We still have 27 to go. So we basically are just about, if we're not already in the green line on fuel, you'd have to think here. DiMaggio tries it again. Frank lost the ground. Here comes Greg. Mitchell now looks to the bottom. Mitchell will just say, I like the inside better. This drafting chance is better. Good fights going on all across the racetrack. Want to check in on one moment though. Andrew Popejoy of no pit behind those, multiple laps down, but Steven Music did have a moment. Let's see what happened here. This was off screen. This was one of the drivers involved earlier, went slowly. Let's see, was this an issue in his situation? He had a rose to his inside, goes up on the high side, and oh yeah, he missed the corner. That's why he went up the track. Obviously, issue pops up there. For his case, Music still running 17th. Just wanted to make sure that 09 is still functioning. Still though, who's going to take that hard left turn? We're halfway through. Remember, about 50 or so laps in this run total, including for a majority of the field, should say. If you include the last caution, would be about maybe 5 laps less, a couple laps extra gas mileage for those hoping to stay out here. Dorsey under attack meanwhile. See him on the 9 on the outside, the 9 machine. Looks like Dufton is back in line. They'll steady out. Just look at some of the statics around here. This track, when you look at it straight on, these machines fly around this facility. You're talking speeds right now that relatively quick. If you take a look at the tower, let's take a look at the last lap for those curious. You can see 56.8s. They started at 54.7s earlier tonight on pace. See that with their fastest lap differential. Some didn't reach that mark, but a majority have. And all of this is two, where most of these drivers got in for 2 stops. It looks like we have a pit stop maybe there. That is indeed the case. Mike Stuyvesant has come down pit road. Stuyvesant opens the pit window. Here we go. Window is open. So who joins in next? Corey Sherman also came down. You see that on your ticker. See. Will anyone in for the leaders come in? Let's see from the blimp. This is going to be a good viewpoint possibly from up above. And it's the leader who's coming down. Early stop for Dustin Payne, and DiMaggio and Mitchell both make quick reactions to join him. Gibson and Thompson stay out of the racetrack. Service is in full swing. Looks like a couple others behind him will join on in. Tom Richter, Dufton's in. A few others down the lane. Some of those like Brian Dorsey will just continue to zip on by. But now you have to respond pretty soon if you're the 1 or the 76. You can see they've also picked up a friend. Lap traffic, that's Popejoy. 12 laps down, looking to go 11. It's actually done not that bad to recover some of these spots. See, Gibson's got the line. Is this going to be it here? See that entry? There they go. He brings Thompson with him, and yes, indeed, that takes the rest of the lead group. So, here comes the question. As they roll their way down the lane, DiMaggio was the one who got the best stop out of them all. This is going to get interesting as everybody else is peeled on down. Let's see. This could get very intriguing. No sector times pop up there, but as they all zip their way through, where are the others? Here comes the 1. He tries to zip by. Blown motor for 1. As this sees Rick Thompson cycle behind, and DiMaggio already zipping by. Frank DiMaggio now up in front, net race leader. Gibson second over Ping. 1 lap's the difference. Now will the tires last as caution flag is out. Caution is out. Big yellow flag. So caution is out on the speedway. And we'll have to figure out what happened here. Brought this out. Let's see. Is it this? Well, it doesn't look like it. That's actually end of longest line penalty. Currently searching around here. Brad Holmes may actually be it. He towed the pits. Missed his pit stall. Don't believe this may have been it either, but you can see. Service, 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 off and away. And then, he went going. Still went going. So again, it's like part of the caution here in this one. Again, that puts us under the yellow flag here tonight. Wonder if, let's try this. This might be actually a better chance. Apologies here. Oh yeah, this is it. Wow. That takes an hour look, shouldn't we? Watch the gearbox. Slowed up. Not sure what's going on here, and bye-bye. And, well, that's a good reason to bring us under the caution flag. As, just like that, that's going to scramble things up, and DiMaggio is still your race leader with them under the yellow flag. Ping second, Mitchell third. This is actually big for the others because of this caution. So as this is now going to see everybody regrouped, it's going to get curious how things go from here on out here. It's the pace car. This looks like it caught everybody. As you can see, 5 different postseason drivers are up at the front. Carter Lawson, who just pit, may be very lucky here. He actually is amongst those who cycle around 7th as a result of that situation. And you can see a lot of people going to take the wave here. We're already at 1 to go on the signal. So with that being said, everyone is going to reset and regroup here. So let's see what happens next for this entire field here after this caution period. We're talking about 18 to go. We get back going in what's been an eventful night. Things get all sorted out. We've also had someone tow for some reason under this caution. Real quickly, let's catch up with why. Well, that's a bye-bye. Nothing to see here. Looks like he is bye-bye. Frank DiMaggio, though, more importantly, is getting ready for the restart. We get back going. Okay, we're all set to find out how things go as the GPS in the background, if you heard. That's our map to Pocono. It's going to take us to Homestead next week. See that next time out as we've stayed with the lights on top of the pace car because we have so many wave arounds. We're going to have to reset here for this one. Again, still plenty of time to go before we get back going, so it's a good opportunity maybe to catch up with Frank. See what he's saying here. Frank DiMaggio, this is Justin up on the broadcast booth. Do you have a quick copy?
Yes, sir.
First things first, your reaction to the restart sequence here after apparently a spin off a pit road after contact in turn 1.
I don't know what happened with the wreck, but I didn't want to see the yellow. I jumped Dustin and was about to jump Rick and Cody. those two guys are kind of stuck back there now in traffic, but I wanted this to stay green all the way to the end.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of people probably asking where would that have been. We ended up finding that, of course, with that. So, game plan now, real quick.
Keep the track position. We got to stay out front and got to push hard on this restart here. I think I have the speed on the long run, but it's so hard to pass people. We just need some clean racetrack.
Good luck on the restart.
Thanks.
Quick check-in with Frank to make sure everything's good in his case. So we'll try this now. Looks like we're now grouped together in line. And all these competitors are going to have an interesting battle from here. We're talking about 17 laps to go with the delayed green from the previous time to allow everybody to catch up. Everybody bunched up. And so, who's going to come away with the win here from Pocono? It's been an interesting day so far. Green, green, green. We're back to racing. Good start up at the front. Look at that side-by-side, though, as they work their way to the corner. Look at Payne. He's got the run. This is exactly what he would have wanted to see with the restart. Can he clear? No. Instead, DiMaggio stays to the inside. Still side-by-side they work. Stuyvesant, a big gainer from this, up in the 4th position. Richter in 5th. Still side-by-side as they work their way through the tower. Oh, in trouble. It's Bowman. 8 around with a slide, no caution. We stay green. Here's a look at Bowman. Take a look at what happened. From his onboard, he was in some heavy battling. And then, bye-bye. Slides around, holds on to it, grabs a gear. And as a result, falls down the order. He's at the back now at a critical time of the race. Meanwhile, DiMaggio hunting to try and get another chance. Carter Lawson amongst those getting swarmed by traffic. See, he's already under attack by Cody Gibson, who fell back on that sequence of pit stops under green. Now can he recover some positions in the 1? See the sector difference between someone like Lawson and someone like Ping. 2 seconds, 2/10 right now. You see offset. You'll see that change over the course of the lap. But compare that to last time. 7/10 lost in Sector 2, which is the middle of the circuit alone. Dufton is also up there. Couple of drivers skating around in the background. Take a look at Caldwell. How about that? 46 more seconds of repairs. Is the car fixed? It looks partly fixed at least. Let's see. Rear looks good. Rear looks good. Front looks good. And his speed level looks good in that 46 car. Under 14 laps to go. Payne still maintaining the race lead up at the front, but Richter's on the move. Tom Richter rallying the troops, wants this one bad. Taking a small peek. Does he go for it? Tried it. Doesn't. Mitchell instead does on the outside. Good pass by the 55 to take advantage with Richter. And now, your regular season champion back up to 3rd. 13 laps to go. 13 to go. So obviously these leaders having an interesting time. Stuyvesant gonna have to try and play some defense though. That one wants some spots back. Top 7 all playoff drivers. Don't forget Rick Thompson. He's actually behind Lawson still. Same for Semple. What's going on with that? This is what's happening. A pass. Thompson able to jump up, take the position. Oh, we have some smoke. May have been Cork. Caution is out. No, it's not. It's Rose. Chris Rose puts us under caution. And now, what happens here? See what happened. As you see, he's already in the midst of a good battle. He was one of the drivers trying different strategies a bit earlier. Right there, bye-bye, goes the race car. See this one more time. What did he see? He sends it right into the 51. And the stack up causes the contact. Rose some pretty heavy damage from that. Payne obviously going to lead the field here. Do you have any questions for those watching along? Be sure to say hello. Join in the conversation. We hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage here on Precision Entertainment. Those just tuning in, I'm Justin Prince, here with you for tonight on comms and production. For those wanting to take note, by the way, this is also the production debut for myself here this evening. It's been an interesting night. You never know until you do it. And oh boy, it's been a fun one, to say the least. Pit stop time. And it looks like everybody just about coming on down here. Nobody except for one, Brad Holmes, electing to roll the dice here. See that pit exit where they're going to have to focus on. Drivers still trying to gear themselves up. And Dustin Payne won the race off pit road. So you see the Lucky Dog zoom by. So Payne up there, but Brad Holmes, more importantly, is up in front. So what is going through the mind of one Brad Holmes? I think that's going to be an interesting one. Let's see if we can talk to him. Trying to pull off an upset here, possibly. Brad Holmes, it's Justin in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
I do. How you doing tonight, Justin?
Doing good. You stayed out on all tires. Why?
Why not? Make things a little bit interesting, and we're going to have a 2-lap shootout here, so why not?
2-lap.
Oh, my Lord, I need a stronger prescription. There's 10 laps to go.
Yes!
We'll see how it plays out.
Well, now what do you plan to do? You thought this was a green-white checkered.
I did think it was a green-white checkered. I need a stronger prescription. We'll see what happens. I've been...
And there goes Brad's connection. He's been having technical issues throughout the night. We'll let him get back to his team and sort that out together. Well, this should be fun. The race leader didn't realize we were having 10 more laps. So what do you do now? Well, if you're Dustin Payne, your thought is, oh boy, how do I take this car and go forward? He's going to be in second. See him just warming up the tires, actually. This could get wild. Let's reset your top 10. It's Holmes, Payne, Richter, Stuyvesant, Gibson, Thompson, Semple, Lawson, DiMaggio, Mitchell. Now your top 10. Of note, you have a lot of people who took 2 tires here. Haven't touched upon that point yet, that a lot of those took right sides. And really speaking, take a look at this delta. 9, 9, 9, 8, 9, 9, 14 for DiMaggio. 4 tires sometimes better than 4, but is that going to be the case tonight? Let's find out, shall we? Coming to the restart. This about to get busy. Under 10 to go for tonight for Kathy's Courage 225 from Pocono. Pace car is off. Here we go. Green, green, green. Back underway we go. Good start by Holmes. They'll all zip their way into one. Richter trying to pass his buddy Stuyvesant. But more importantly, Payne looking for the setup. Gets in line. Looking to try and gear up. Good battles going on around the track. They are still battling here. You see Gibson amongst those looking to go right behind Stuyvesant. Payne still hasn't gotten a look, but Gibson at least is up to 4th. Here we go. Race lead is on. Side by side. Payne up the inside. The run up the inner groove. The 81 takes it, but here comes Richter. Trouble. It's the 55. Hard in the wall. No caution yet. He spins around. Still green. Now yellow furrowed. We're under caution. And Dustin Payne leads with what is now 7 to go at the stripe. A big moment of the race as Greg Mitchell, anytime he makes a mistake, it's huge because he's the points leader. Heavy bop to the wall. And you see, took a moment for things to update on your pylon, but it was there for the caution. Take a little closer look. Bounced up somebody's door. There were 3 wide in front for a moment. Then right into Thompson. We'll try this one more time to show the mindset. Take a look at this from the cockpit. And that is why so much at stake for the 34. Of course, we talked about throughout the season, the emotions high for him. Those on the car for that 34. Especially with Kathy. See the memory of Kathy Richter on the back end of the machine. And right now, I think it means the world and a half to him to get a win in a race like this here tonight. Especially in a race here this evening for Kathy. He restarts second. Mike Stuyvesant right behind as well in this one. Getting set for the restart. Richter going to be starting in second. Let's let him focus up, because this is critical time, because you're talking about an emotional race coming up to 5 to go when we take the green flag for him here in a moment. Remember, for those tuning in for tonight, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's action so far here on Precision. One of a couple of different broadcasts. MLSR also on the air this evening. It's been having an interesting night for their sake for the second truck race in the network's history for them here tonight. But let's see what Lane Payne chooses compared to Richter. Lights out. Payne outside. Let's take a look at your whole battle box for the top 10 if we can, right there. Let's try that one more time as we move the slide. You see Richter, Payne, Gibson, Stuyvesant, Thompson, Semple, DiMaggio, Lawson, Anderson, Caldwell are all in that top 10 in your numbers. All of them relatively close, all of them looking to see what they can do. And remember, out of those names on those boxes, you see the 2 tires that are on your right side of the screen. First on 4, still DiMaggio. Caldwell is the next one up. A lot of pressure if you're all these drivers from here on out. Who gets it done tonight for a chance to win at the tricky triangle? A 5-lap dash. Some of the drivers that you'll have to keep an eye on, see if they can make up some ground here late in this one. Amongst the playoff drivers, Gary Bowman from his recovery of a slide down in 16th position on the restart. Greg Mitchell, worst he can finish right now is about 28. Don't know if he'll get that low though, even with the tow truck. Here we go. 5 laps to go from Pocono. Who gets it done at the tricky triangle? Green weights in hand. Watch from the flag stand. We're backing away. Payne trying to defend. You see the move down. Richter looking to go the inside. Already some drivers in trouble down the order. Looking like everything's stable. Richter trying to cover off the 1. Nearly had contact. They're slamming between Gibson and Semple now. They're door to door. Still wheel to wheel we go. Laps to go on the pylon. 5 to go. Richter trying to get himself some distance on the podium. Semple still trying to battle it out with Gibson. DiMaggio's now in the top 5 of the 4 tires. Nearly got around, in trouble. Carter Lawson. Lawson slides. He's in the wall. Caution is out with 4 to go. And another yellow flag. And this is going to take us to overtime. Let's see what happened here. A little bit further back, this is going to reset. See him just trying to wrap the inside. Already on the curb, that's not a great sign. And then Anderson popped the wall anyhow and got into the 98. Slides him off to the inside, and it puts us under yellow. He's just trying to drive and mind his own business. You see he's wheeling that thing, and then, hello. Destabilizes the car. Lucky he didn't slam any other car sliding down, but it's enough to put us back under caution. right now. Pardon there, just testing as things continue to get sorted. Let's see. Is anyone peeled down? Answer is... doesn't look like it. Everyone's going to keep the track position. Let's take the opportunity to speak with Matthew Semple here. Matthew Semple, this is Justin Prince up at the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Closing stages of this race. How would you describe the feelings here as we're in green-white checker territory?
I'm not really sure. I'm really surprised I'm up here anyways, sitting P4 right now. So this is not a very good track for me. So, I mean, I'm just going to try to see what this number 16 Alto Chevy can do in these this green-white checker here. Go for broke, I guess.
How would you describe the feeling of this car tonight in the first place? You've been in a lot of our main battles tonight.
For me, it's a tight race car, I feel like. So I got a really loose setup on it, and did some brake bias adjustments and everything here for this restart, and hopefully it's not too loose. And we took 2 tires on that last stop to try and get some track position. So I mean, hopefully everything just holds on, and the strategy's the right call here and everything, but I guess we'll see.
Dave, we'll let you get back to your team. We'll let you get to game planning here.
Thank you.
Once again, Matthew Semple taking some time to speak with us there as we are getting set to go to 1 to green pretty soon. As this all goes on here, see how things have shaped up. For some, it's been a busy night. Payne, Richter, Gibson, Semple, DiMaggio, Thompson, Stuyvesant, Caldwell up at the front of the field for the upcoming restart sequence. See the pace car. We'll get the 1 to go signal this time by, and again, Payne on the outside, Richter on the inside. Again, if we get to the white flag, it's a race to the checkered. It's simple as that. If we get a caution flag, we'll re-rack and stack them for another attempt potentially here. Some of those that look to maybe join the conversation late as things have circulated out. Give a shout out to Dorsey. Great day for car number 9. Up in the top 10, looking to be one of those up 22. And if you think about your biggest movers here tonight, look at your 10 biggest. Dorsey's the biggest. Cobblentz has gone 18. Stuyvesant huge as a playoff driver up there in the order, along with Caldwell. But these two up front are the focus. Race leaders looking to set things up in the final stage here from Pocono and Cyber Thunder. Who gets the edge for some fun tonight? About to find out in a moment just how much these drivers want this. Here we go. Restart time. Green, green, green. Green, white, checkered finish. Payne's off and away. And look at DiMaggio going low. Trying to find a way to dart around there. He's to the inside, looking for 4th. Semple jumping up to 2nd. A lot of 3-1 in the background as you look down the straightaway up here. Richter steps into line. Semple looking for it. Semple just said moments ago, this is not a great track for him. Can this be a great track to get a win? Bowman's falling down the order though. Yellow flag is out. We're back to overtime again for another attempt. Bowman amongst those was up on the wall, and he's gone on the tow truck. See what happened. See Bowman. Oh boy. Coblentz got him. See this again. That was one of those 3 wide battles we were kind of talking about, staggered 3 wide for a moment. You'll see this from the blimp. Watch the 42. Bye-bye. And heavy contact. And immediately jumped on the tow truck as Coblentz dealing with heavy damage from that, obviously. Here's his roll bar. Just didn't get too low, if anything. That too low moment is why. Back under caution, and Coblentz has made his way to the safety of pit road. So they'll all regather and reset again. Haven't talked with Rick Thompson here tonight. That 76 machine is back in the thick of things. And obviously, tire set's obviously not a thought. You're not taking a risk to go to the back of the field at this point forward if you want to try and have a chance to win this race. Let's see if we can talk with him. Let's see, Rick Thompson. Rick Thompson, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
You've had a fast car here tonight. You've ran inside the top 3 at some points, yet to lead a lap, but you've had a hot rod. How would you describe the 76?
I think the 76 is destined for a top 5, but I'm hoping for a top 5, but I don't think I got enough laps to get up there to first unless they start getting wild. But with the last 2 restarts, they've gotten pretty wild, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we've seen it's been an interesting night from start to finish as a result here. What have you been doing to try and counter the reported tightness in the car?
I've been trying to back up my corner a little bit and just try to keep from wearing out the right front a little too much, because this setup I don't think it's the setup that I practice with. I think it's the older setup, but it's a little tight compared to the one I practice with. So it's been a struggle to try to keep it off the wall.
You mentioned the target. What's it going to take to get to your target since you're starting row 3?
I'm hoping that I get a good jump off on the restart here, and if I can keep the car below me, if I can keep the 24 below me or whoever's down there, and stay in the high lane coming down the stretch into the short chute, I think I got a shot at it at that point. The top line has been getting a really good draft and a good pull off the corners, so I'm going to try to keep him there and try to stay on that top lane and have somebody in front of me to help drag me up there.
Well, on that note, let's get back to your teammates. Who have you been working it with the most here tonight in your teamwork camp?
Actually, Cody Gibson and I have been working together a lot tonight. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've been trying to just kind of stay with him. Figure he's a good guy to follow, especially with his success lately. So trying to see if I can piggyback off of that and have some of his good luck rub off on me.
All right, let's send you back over to him. Good luck.
Thank you, Justin.
Rick Thompson riding up in the 6th position, one of those in the conversation here late. And oh boy, here we go again. Derek Green, white checkered attempt. We're on lap 94 of a scheduled 90 lap distance. Again, we have to take the white flag for this race to conclude. Tunnel turn seems to be a disaster point for some tonight. But that's such a narrow part of the track in the first place, it's not a surprise you'll see attrition there. It's Payne, Semple, Richter, Gibson, DiMaggio, Thompson, Caldwell, followed by Stuyvesant, Dufton, and Dorsey. They'll all set up for the restart. It's going to get interesting if the 34 can find a way to get a run again. Remember, that machine has been good on the past couple restarts, but lost ground to Semple's great launch last time. Now Semple's on the outside, but it's not the choose car. Remember, that control car gets such a jump in the restart zone. Right now still running with 22 in the race on the lead lap. Corey Sherman still in it, 5 laps down. Everybody looking to survive. Pace car about to drop off. Up from the flag stand. The intensity about to pick up for the race win. Yet again, green, white, checkered. Payne, Semple. Semple didn't get a good launch. Back on her way, and Payne streaking away. Richter and Gibson, the first battle. Semple losing ground as a result. Able to still hold on a second. Gibson on the outside, looking to try and rip the top. Richter slams the door in Thompson's face. Richter hits the wall. Nobody else stacks up. DiMaggio amongst those back there. You see them trying to battle side by side. Can they get to the one to go? That's the question. 24 versus 34. Sliding behind. No yellow flag. Amongst those involved is Chris Rose. They're still wrecking at the back. Lots of chaos with Justin Vason, and the caution now waves. He is stopped on the racetrack, Vason is, and that puts us under yellow for another attempt at overtime. Let's go on the tow truck. Take a look at this madness. This is from cork to start. Oh my. A lot of stacking up, and then they all go marching in. Gainforth and a bunch of others. Here's Chris Rose, one of the first meatball flags in the incident. And bam! Into the wall, taking a few buddies with them, and Rose, that suspension's broken, and then they slam in with Sherman. See right here, got into the collision, gets collected, tied up into it. Tries one more time with Vason. What did he see? It's one of those on the outside, and then tried to dodge it, but Gainforth was there, and then heavy contact to the wall. All stacks us up. So this entire field will get itself sorted out here in the next moments or so as we try this here in the next moments to find out who gets a clean jump from here. And you can see, never attempted overtime. If we keep it clean, it's a couple minutes here. It's been a wild end to this one. We're down to 18 cars on the track, not including those who just ducked down pit road. For what's going to be a dramatic end to this one. You know who's up here in the conversation for a solid finish here? Talk about Andrew Caldwell. That 46 has an opportunity late if it can survive the carnage. Caldwell working with Nathan Dufton's camp here tonight. Let's see what he has to say. Andrew Caldwell, this is Justin Prince in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
I gotcha.
It's been a roller coaster for you. You had more than 2 minutes of damage at one point. How would you describe the comeback?
Luck, to be honest. Caution came out right when I needed it to be to jump a lot of other cars. I was able to fix the damage, but haven't really been able to do anything yet with all these cautions. So we'll see what we can do. So
what do you feel you have in this car after all the repairs? Do you think you can get in the podium again?
I think I can, as long as nothing goes crazy. I think a lot of these guys are on 2, and I took 4 there, so there's definitely a chance.
Let you get back to your team here as we get ready to double up.
Thank you.
Once again, Andrew Caldwell off to his room and gets us ready for the restart as we prepare. Dustin Payne, Matthew Semple, Richter versus Gibson versus Caldwell versus DiMaggio with Thompson, Dorsey, Stuyvesant, Dufton. Stuyvesant going the wrong way late. All the restart sequences. Still seems to have speed in it though. It's a nervous one for some of the drivers tonight, I think you can argue. Especially with the green-white checkers, but it's a question, can we bring these cars on home here on another restart? Again, Justin Prince with you in the broadcast booth here at Precision Entertainment. Hope you're enjoying tonight's action so far in what has definitely been a wild night from start to finish. Ready to set things up next up. Mind you, 19, it looks like, will take the restart with all the drivers involved in incidents. Gary Bowman amongst those who will be in the points hits. Greg Mitchell. 2 names you expect, at least with the 55 at minimum, to be front-end contenders for the championship. May be in the danger zone, depending on how things have gone here. With Carter Lawson. May have penalty marks to deal with. We'll keep an eye on that here. Restart time. Here we go. From the flag stand we go. 2 to go again. Payne off and away. Now a good fire off for Dustin Payne as he leads the pack. Look at 3 wide. That's DiMaggio back there. Looking for third. Richter shuffled off. Richter gets back in line. A little bit of a moment there. Semple again up to second. He looks to go on the hunt. Lap and a third to go. Will they keep it clean? No major shuffles in the pylon. Now there is Stuyvesant amongst them as they all work their way to the caution. That may just about work it through. Yellow flag is displayed as this may just about be it. Dustin Payne is at the head of the field. 2 to go still displayed. Now moves to 1 to go. Dustin Payne unofficially has this race with a lap to go with a caution. Let's take a look at the incident. Remember the battles we were just talking about back here? Oh, Tom Richter got into Thompson possibly, and it involves Stuyvesant. Multiple playoff implications late. Danforth hits heavy contact. They all stacked up, and it put us under yellow. See this one more time. This is from Stuyvesant. Nowhere to go. Collects Dorsey. Tough break for Dorsey. Top 10 much of the way. One of the big movers of the day. He just towed to the pits, actually, for some reason got a disqualification in the session. Carter Lawson also somehow got a piece of it. What did he do? Oh, did he pick Ron? Oh! It landed in his lap. And that's why he's blowing the motor. That's why he's got a blown machine. So with that, race coming to a close. Give it to Dustin Payne. Checkered flag waving at the stand for the third time this season. It's Dustin Payne who gets it done. Payne gets to celebrate with Sempo and DiMaggio in the top three, with Gibson and Caldwell joining suit, as you see that here. Some good. Tom Richter still comes away sixth after the caution period. Brad Holmes still salvages the top 10 after his. Not sure if it's a green-white checkered or not situation with 10 to go. Rick Thompson falls down to 14th. Stuyvesant to 15th. And Dustin Payne with the chance to burn it on down here tonight as everyone looks to congratulate your race winner. It's going to take the moments to get there, obviously. You see him taking his time for Celebration Alley. Once again, it's Dustin Payne who gets it done to go to victory lane in Cyber Thunder in the Rush Championship Series presented by AI Chief. Sempo look to kiss the wall in style. Celebration time. He went on a drought for a while in league wins. He's gotten hot with them lately. We'll take a step aside. More coverage coming up. You're watching Precision Entertainment for this evening's coverage of the Cathy's Courage 225 from Pocono.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's action here as we get ready to talk about how things went here this evening. A busy evening, to say the very least. But let's see if we can take a look at your full race results here in the next moments or so. In the end, it's Dustin Payne who gets the victory here tonight. In this one, gets it done over Matthew Sempo, Frank DiMaggio up in the top 3 with Gibson and Caldwell. Richter, Dufton joined alongside by Spencer, Holmes, and Van Vliet, and amongst your top 10. You throw it back to 11th. Craig Mayer falls down there with gain 4th amongst those in the chaos in the end. Dakota Wilkins salvages 13th. Rick Thompson and Mike Stuyvesant be thinking what could have been for them, 14th and 15th. James Kinder Amanda Sherman, Carter Lawson, Chris Rose, and Andy Cork. In the top 20, Rose and Cork were a lap down. One more tab to look at. That's Justin Vason and Leroy Coblett. You also had Gary Bowman and Corey Sherman, top 24. Anderson, Mitchell, Popejoy, Music, along with Anderson and Brennan, were in your order. So look top to bottom at your race results here. Currently getting everybody all set to go, and as you can see, it was an interesting night for if you were your race winner. Tonight, Dustin Ping comes away with win number 3 on the season. Dustin, big night for you. How does it feel to be the winner at Pocono?
Pretty good. I'm actually kind of shocked. Don't think I've ever had 2 back-to-back wins in a league before. Yeah, pretty good. This is a pretty exciting race. I thought so.
It definitely was, but obviously you're a contender here. How would you describe the preparation to make sure you knew what you were going to be doing here tonight?
Very minimal. I think I ran 25 laps, maybe 30 laps in practice, and that was about it. I didn't do a long run. I'm usually pretty good here, so I figured I know what I need here. But yeah, very minimal preparation.
Of course, though, the big thing is you entered tonight, 2nd seed in the points. You get big points again here tonight. How do you feel about your chances for the championship by the time we get to Richmond now?
We'll see. I'm pretty good at Richmond. It depends if Tom gives us the right setup. But yeah, I'm pretty good at Richmond. That's gonna be a long one. Hopefully get long runs there. If not, we're gonna be pacing most of the time. Because tire wear's, pretty bad there. So we'll see.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for broadcasting this. I want to thank Tom for putting this on, and shout out Thomas Baum and what they're dealing with.
It's definitely an emotional situation for him. We had a chance up at the front tier 2. But congratulations to you, Dustin. You get the job done tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Dustin Ping gets himself into victory lane tonight. 2nd spot, you go the way of Matthew Semple. Matthew, you actually did get to 2nd, despite what you were saying before in the in-car interview. How do you feel about the podium now?
Oh, yeah, it feels good. I wish we would have been able to run it out. I don't know if I had anything for Dustin, but it would have been nice to run the last lap and a half out and see what maybe we could have done. But yeah, not a very good track for me to wind up P2 on I think a good strategy call, taking 2 tires there. I think most of the other guys took 4. So on that strategy call, I'll take it. I'll take that as a win in my books, P2.
We talked a little bit about how the car felt with the machine. Again, you're one of those on the 2 tires. How did it feel with the balance difference? Usually that loosens it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's why I felt like I had a good chance at it. Taking those 2 tires, and when I ended up, I believe I came out 7th with the 2 tire stop. I was like, if this thing goes green, I think there was 10 laps left. I'm like, yeah. I got a decent chance at this because I'm going to be a lot looser than these guys. So just didn't go our way at the end, but I mean, again, can't complain the way this ended up here for a track that I am not strong at. To wind up P2 with a good strategy call and everything like that, I'll take it any day.
How do you feel about the next race at Homestead?
Another track that I'm not good at, so I mean, maybe we can repeat what we did tonight, but might be a struggle. Might have to put in some practice hours throughout the week here.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you for doing the broadcast. Shout out to Tom for putting on this great league, and Mike for being an admin. Shout out to Tom also for sponsoring the race. Shout out to Alto Construction for sponsoring me this season. Wish we could get the Alto number 16 more wins, but maybe we'll get one next week or the week after. But thanks to them. Thanks to my mom and dad for watching. Thanks to my smoking hot wife for letting me do this every Tuesday. And thanks to my my little daughter for also letting me do this, and friends and family watching as well. Thank you.
Congratulations on 2nd.
Thank you.
Matthew Semple coming away with the top 3. Same for Frank DiMaggio. And remember, Frank was the first to take 4 tires here this evening. Frank, how did the 4 tires feel?
It felt all right. I just didn't really get a chance to use them. We'd get maybe 3/4 of a lap, and then the yellow would come out. So would have been nice to stay green there and see what we could have done, but that's the way it goes.
Obviously an interesting one when it comes to battles. What was going through your mind as you were a part of the lead pack? 5 different drivers had a chance to lead and win this race up at the front, it felt like, and went the long runs.
We really just needed that long green run after that green flag stop. I pitted behind Dustin, and then I came out a second ahead of him off pit road. So we're about to jump the other guys too. And I kind of, my driving style is more for green flag runs, but we just didn't really get those tonight. And we just kind of stuck back in traffic and trying to survive.
So how do you feel about Homestead Miami Speedway next time out?
It's not really a common track, so I couldn't tell you the last time I raced there, but I felt the same way about here at Pocono. I watched some videos on YouTube of people describing their lines and shifting. I started shifting in third when we were getting some wear on the tires, and that seemed to help. But we'll see if we can do some homework and study and see if we can learn anything before we get to Miami next week.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
I say thanks to AIG for sponsoring the series, Tom for sponsoring tonight's race, my teammates. Ed didn't have the night he wanted. Gary kind of had some trouble at the end there too. And everyone watching on the broadcast and all my 2 fans.
Congratulations on the top 3 here tonight.
All right, thanks.
Frank DiMaggio rounds out the podium conversations. I'd like to thank the entire top 3 for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on Precision. But remember, we still have plenty of racing action to go in this series. Next time out, Homestead Miami Speedway is the destination at Homestead. It's going to be August the 4th, 8 p.m. start time. You can catch that here on Precision Entertainment when we go racing at the 1.5 miles to find out who will battle for a championship at Richmond. It's going to be an interesting time, but it's time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage here on Precision. I'm Justin Prince, thanking you so much for tuning in for tonight, using Camera Survival Whiplash Sim Cams for this evening's coverage of Cyber Thunder. And once again, a busy night for the Rush Championship Series presented by AIG. Congratulations to your race winner in Dustin Ping. He gets it done once again this evening from Pocono. We'll see you next time from Homestead.